Welcome guys, it's time for a little story because I didn't want to let you being kinda unfinished with my latest climb to legend from the last season. Because you might have noticed or recognized that the videos were off my usual schedule during the last days because there weren't any. And for those of you who don't follow me on Twitter, what you should totally do by the way, this was because I got sick basically right after hitting Legend. After finishing with a quite successful climb once again. And you might hear that I'm not still fully recovered yet. Well, unfortunately I thought I was like mentally capable of still playing a few shorter sessions per day. Which happened to be totally wrong. Retrospectively, I have to say, like, I wasn't to go into the great detail of my place that I usually was, and this totally set me off. So, long story short, I tanked down my legend rank quite a bit when I finally realized that I had to recover before I could start a comeback climb. And then I took a few days of rest, and my legend rank that was tanked down was decayed even further, and so I found myself at a rank around 3,700 in the legend ranks, with 2 days left in the season, which were the last Wednesday and Thursday. But my goal was actually to finish in the top 100, so I had quite a way to go at this point. I saw an interesting handlock list by StanCifka, which happens to be this one. Has no watchers, but therefore a lot of heal. It's a little bit more defensively, I would say, than the usual handlock list that you may know. But I found this one interesting, and so I tried it out, and actually I was able to pilot it quite well and climbed with it decently. So I decided to stick with it after I finished playing on Wednesday. And decided that I wanted to make my top 100 attempt with this deck on the second day too. And I have to say I would have really liked to stream or record the games at this point, but I simply didn't feel comfortable enough to think and speak for a longer time. But I at least recorded 3 noticeable games against Gara, Thais, and Neyman. So you can at least expect some post-commentary videos with this deck during the next days coming up. However, back to the story, I was going to the movies at Thursday, which was the last day of the season. So I wanted to climb as high as possible to increase my chances of actually finishing in the top 100. Which required me to get around, I suppose, the top 50s, at least. So, after 2 days of climbing, I found myself in the top 100, which made me quite comfortable because I still had like 2.5 hours left until I had to leave. But for those of you who played at the EU servers on the last day of the season, you might know what happened now, or then. The EU server died, and there was no more lettering available for me during the last hours. And you might imagine that after like 2 days of climbing, playing around 60 games with a win rate of more than 70% actually, climbing from 3,700 to the top 200, and my goal being so close at this moment, I was a little bit salty afterwards. But however, I mean, I simply shouldn't have had to climb this far, or from this low in the first place. So the one who's to blame in the first place is, of course, me. Although the ladder dying didn't really help, I have to say. But on the bright side, I know that, well, I now played like 60 days with a deck. 60 games, sorry, with a deck, and I thought I would share my experience with the deck and therefore write a guide for you. You can find the link of the deck in the description, and as mentioned, I also recorded 3 games with it, so you can also expect 3 post-commentary videos during the next days for this deck. Speaking of the next days, actually, for those of you who watched this video right on time, I'm finally going to play the last Blackrock wing. Yes, I know I'm late. But I'm going to play it on stream tomorrow, which is Sunday the 3rd of May? Yeah, 3rd of May. So feel free to join me on Twitch, or you can at least expect the VODs being on YouTube here later. And as for now, I will focus on recovering completely so that I can start off in a new season and a new climb to deliver new content for you guys. Yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching, guys. See you around next time. Bye bye.